Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. Now, Rajesh, enter Rajesh 123, and in this one, colors, appearance, 14 bold, okay, apply. Now, here I'll become a root because you can run as a root only, or the user who's a part of the group called Docker. So now, so first thing, Docker PS will tell you the running container, Docker PS -a, running and not running container, Docker images will tell you which are the images you have it. So now what I'm going to do, hub.docker.com, which I had chosen one more time, I'm going to play with one image, which is HTTPD. It's a web-based image. So let me download it, pull this image, and it's around 200 MB or something. It'll take few seconds and get it done. So this image I downloaded using this command, and after that what I need to do, I need to here, if you remember this, always I'm showing you create start up. So okay, so I got this image, Docker images. Now guys, do you have any containers? Docker PS, no containers running, no containers in not running state also. So Docker create HTTPD, this is image, create a container. See, one container got created. See, one container. So each container you have a ID, 40 character unique hash ID from image. Container will run this one. Right now it's created, not running, and created 4 seconds ago. Now each containers you have some random name generated by Docker. I want to create one container, two container, three container, four containers, and if you see that I have four containers, all status is in created state. After that, start, stop, restart. So Docker start, you can use a container ID, you can use a name, no problem, and you see here it's running. You can do more actually with some other container with the name crazy cloud, and here running. So this is starting. Can I stop the container? So this container is running from last 10 seconds. I am stopping it, and now when you see that container is stopped, exited. So your running container when stopped, exited, in code is return code is 0 3 seconds ago. So you see that created, running, exited, stopped. You want to restart this container, so yes, you can use it, Docker restart container ID, and here you have to restart and look at the status. You see 1 second. So tell me whether it's difficult, all of you?
No,
All of you? Now, when I want to pause the container, what to do? So Docker ps-a, there is one container which is running and I want to pause it. So Docker pause container ID. When you pause, what happens? So guys, when you pause, container do not get CPU, only gets what? RAM. So you see that CPU is 0, but memory they are using it. So stats command will tell you which container is consuming how much CPU, how much RAM. So here you see this pause. What I'm going to do? Unpause it. So here, unpause it, and then container ID, and then here you see now it's again running. Now if you consume it, it'll start demanding CPU. So this is the pause and unpause, finally killing the container. So now if you see that here there's one container which is running and I want to kill it. So remember that this container I stopped it. The return code is 0, but when I kill it, Docker kill command and container ID, and if you see that exited, but the return code is 137. That means there is a difference between stop and kill. Note it down, interview question. There is a difference between what is a pause and pause. Note it down, and it's important for you. So yeah, when you kill it, the you get the return code which is non-zero, which is 137 in this case. And finally you can remove the container. So work is done, Docker rm, and yes, you can remove all the container which is not running. And in fact right now all the container which is not running right now we have, and now you see that gone. So this is the life cycle of the container. You create, start, stop, restart, pause, pause, unpause, kill, and remove. Any questions so far, all of you? Any questions so far?
Sir, that the last Rajesh, that image part, how what means that you have pulled that image, and so can you explain that a little bit more?
So
Because,
Docker pull, when you say
yeah.
any images, let's say Ubuntu is one image on the hub.docker.com. So by default, when you say pull, automatically it start downloading from the internet, hub.docker.com. Okay, that's a link actually. So the registry ID get appended and they started downloading from your registry.
So what it is downloading? It is downloading Ubuntu or that what?
Ubuntu image.
Ubuntu
See
image.
here.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
see. Last time I downloaded HTTPD and now Ubuntu.
So we don't have to give any path or something. It's already automatically means
It
is for
automatically goes to the default route, and the default route is docker info this locations.
okay.
Okay, so guys, this is something which you created. Now next topic is how to consume containers. How to consume container. I'll put it in simple way. How to consume laptop. How to consume VM, which you know that. So same way, don't give special attention to container. Container is your compute unit, something similar to what you have in VM and what you have in the laptop. So how do you consume? So first thing, either you can consume using, shell. You have a multiple shell, bash shell, C shell, corn shell, PowerShell in Windows. So you have consume shell, and second you use consuming using internet, I mean network IP address, right? So this is the way. So now the question is, how do I get inside a container so I can consume it? So let me just show you. So Docker yes, no container running, Docker start. I'm running one container, and now the container ID, I ran one container, and you see that here it's running. Now how do I get inside it? So Docker execute -it and container ID, and then what do you want to execute inside a container? So basically, you know what? Using exec command, you can execute any executable inside a container. But if you want to interact with it, you have to use IT option. If you don't use it, it will run. So this command, it can be anything. It can be ls, cat, whatever it is. So right now, where are you? You are inside a container. Exit. And if you want to only run, let's say ls, so remove that, and you got the output inside a container. See here, inside the directory which you got inside, this is the file you see. So you can run a command from outside of the container, and you can go inside a container and do the stuff. So these are the way which you can do that. Exec command is a very useful. Now using that, you can have a shell. Now what is the next? So how to access the container using network? So guys, every containers will have one IP address. How do we get it? So let me see that this is a container, and if I inspect that container, I'll give the IP address. See that lots of information you have it. Just get comfortable, don't rush, just spend some time, you'll get comfortable with it. And this is the IP address of container. And now curl http, and now see that it works. That means you are able to access the container from the VM where you are running a container. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah,
So
Raj.
guys, these are the commands you can use it to access through the network. Now next question is see, I'm little get lost in the flow. I think I'm getting old, I guess. uh, so next question is, I did consume the container, I get inside the container, I'm accessing the container. That is okay. Yeah, shortcut commands. So shortcut. So guys, you know what? Typically, I taught you all this thing, but no one is using this all stuff. What stuff? This all stuff, you know? So what they are using? So they are using one command which is called run command. So run is equal to what? So run is equal to pull plus create plus start and then plus attach. Okay. That means run command, if you use it, you will pull that image, create a container, start a container, and then attach to the container. Okay. So what is attach means? Attach means you become a container. So if you see the Docker PS, right now I'm running the container, which is HTTP. This is the PID one of the container. Okay. And when you say Docker PS, a Docker attach, and this container ID. Okay. So that means right now I was bash, and after running I become Apache HTTP hyphen foreground. Now this guy don't understand. It's not a shell. It don't understand my commands actually. So if someone uses log shell of your Apache. So now here mind it, because this attach, you attach to the PID1. PID1 is concept, you must remember that. Because of PID1 only, please remember that, because of the PID1 only, which is the PID1 here. So PID1 is 4. This is the first PID. In the Linux, I want to show you that PID. So let me duplicate session. I don't want to disturb this one. Rajesh 123 become sudo Rajesh 123 ps -ef. Uh, Look at this. Your system is running because of this PID1. Look at this attached to your kernel. So here concept is very simple. Mind it. Physical server is running because of the first PID. This is a 4 in this case in Windows. Linux server is running, VMs is running because of the one PID1, which is running your kernel. Container is running because of the first PID1, and inside this is your PID1. So guys, here is running, so you are able to access. When you do Control C, it will kill the HTTP foreground. See that? You send the SIG shutting down, and then the container is not running. You see, it's gone. It's got exited. That means if you kill the PID1 of the container or VM or physical machines, your laptop will shut down, VM will shut down, container will exit it. Please remember that I put it in a very simple way, but all these things you have to think a lot. You know, let's say if I'm having 1 hour of sessions, you have to practice at least 4 hours. Each and every lines you have to hear me out, because here I'm not telling you something which you don't need it. You need every lines of my statement. I hope you got it. So PID1 is running, container is running, PID1 is not running, container is not running. So here it's not running now. So here what I was telling you, Docker attach will attach to the PID1, all which. So coming back to the points here, run will do 4 things: pull, create, start, and attach to the container. Attach to a PID1 of the container. Now you'll say, Rajesh, I don't want to attach. No problem. You can do -d and do not attach. Okay. So let me show you these commands in a simple way. Look at my screen here. So Docker run httpd, enter. So see what happens. Attached, I got attached to it, because run you have attached to it. Control C, I kill this container, and -d, one container, two container, three container, four containers. I'm not attaching it. So here it's running. Are you understanding the shortcut command run and run -d, attach and do not attach?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now guys, there's a last command which I want to tell you, which is that means the problem statement. So what is the problem statement? So guys, problem statement is, this is the container IP address I want to access from my host machine. I'm not able to access. Why? So understand the fundamental of networking. And guys, if you want to be successful DevOps engineer, you know, networking concept you have to know. I know, I mean, I'm increasing the complexity day by day, but trust me, DevOps engineer is a kind of profile which is having multi-talented skill set. We need to have multi-talented skill set. So slowly you get used to it. Learn some fundamental of Linux. I'll try to find out some good materials. I'll share with you. Last time I shared also, I forgot that where it is. I'll find it offline and share with you. So so what is this? So in this case, I'll tell you here. This is my laptop. and this is my VM, and this is my container. Now container get IP address, VM also get IP address, and this is me inside a laptop. This is me, you see, I'm inside a laptop. So now theoretically I can, because remember that this machine and this VM both are attached to the bridge mode. So that means I can access this one also, and I can access from outside, someone can access this one also. Correct now, all of you?
Yes. Yes, Raj.
But you know guys, the networking here which is applied to container, it's a local scope actually. Okay, this is called bridge mode. That means they have created their own bridge actually inside it. That means if there is a one more container will have IP address. So if you are inside it, you can talk to this guy. If you are inside it here, you can talk to this guy. If you are here inside a VM, you can talk to both the guys. But from outside, I want to reach to container, not possible, because scope of network, this is a different network. These two machines is on my home network. This container, they have created own network, actually their own network. So two different network, merging has happened, routing has happened. So did you understand that the architecture, why I'm not able to access the container?
Yes.
So guys, what to do? So this is something which we are going to do. This is, that is done by whole world. In fact, AWS is doing, Azure is doing, whole world is working on that, and that's called port forwarding. That means, yes, can you access this VM IP address? Yes. So what I'm going to configure here, the moment I get a request here, it should, let's say 80 port, I'm going to hit this on host machine. It should take me to this one. And when because I cannot use the more than one port number, so 81, and it should hit this one. So this is called port forwarding concept. So what to do, how to do that? So guys, in order to do that, let me run this command: docker run -d-p port number 8080. Now this first one is host port, another is container port and httpd. Now second containers you want to expose, so you have to change this one, because you cannot use this port at the host level. Host port, container port, it can be same, because each container runs on their own IP address. So guys, now I'm going to put forwarding. So here enter, and second one also enter -p doc. Okay, there's a problem here. 81 port, who's using in my machine? Uh, okay, so 81 port I had never used, maybe somewhere else is been used. You can find out toolspin, netstat toolspin. So netstat toolspin, this command you can use it. What is this? Netstat is not there actually. Yeah, it's not there. Okay, so this command I have to install. I can install it, but right now not interested. Maybe some other application I'm running. So not a problem. 82 port, I'll make it 82. And here run. So guys, here I did see. Look at my screen, all of you. Here the screen. See, these containers I'm running without port forwarding. I cannot access from outside. But if you see, these two containers I'm running, one is 80, one is 82 port. So now can I access the host port? So host IP address of this node is ETH0. Where is it? Here it is. And 80 and 82. Okay. This is 80 and this is 82. Got it? How do we access the container from outside? Mr. Ashish. Okay, so good. So now what I said so far, let me 264. Hmm. So what I said so far, just a second, guys. So what I said so far, how to use the shortcut command and access the container from outside. So now what you know, now you know how to create a container. Now you know how to go inside a container. Now you know how to access the container from outside through the network, and you also know how to expose the container for the browsing sesh experience outside of the host. So these are the things you have to play multiple times, practice it multiple times and get used to it. Now, next thing which is very important for all of you, and that is how to create an image, Docker image. That is important. So containers, now image also you should know, and that is which I'll talk about in some time. So before that, any questions, all of you? Any questions?
Sir, it's going very fast. I'm really unable to cope up with this. It's for my problem. I don't know about the others, but it seems like it's very fast for
No.
myself.
So
I don't know about the others
you have to tell mind. See, maybe fast I can slow
because I
down,
just don't want to
but
disturb
I
because you are just in between. So little bit. So when you ask, so that's what I am telling. It's really for
yeah,
me. I don't know about the others. You can ask to others also.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
guys,
you have to,
since it's being recorded, so I was waiting for the end of the session to uh, discuss regarding this.
yeah. So see, first of all, uh, I'll put it in this way. If you ask
Mhm.
me how many things I taught you, so I taught you nothing great. First of all, now when you say fast, maybe I'll be slow after some time, but actually I did not do anything great. Just put a pointer in your mind. What I did. See, you have a laptop. Now you shut down your laptop, restart your laptop. Sometime you send to pause state also, and you unpause it. And for that, what I did, I just run 5 commands for that. Let me show you here. You just need to remember the context in mind. So here, look at it. I created, started, stopped it, restart it, pause it, unpause it, and kill it and remove it. That's all. Means remove means throw away your laptop. Simple. So just five,
Yeah, right.
six command.
The thing is, it's not just about the commands, the process how it works internally. So that is what I am actually missing,
Yeah,
the further steps
yeah.
it was showing,
Wait,
etc.
wait. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I little bit confused about that when we have an Ubuntu. The first question was that why we use this container means time saving and all those things are okay, management is okay, and PID is okay. But what is the significance of using the Docker and how it is helping with the means what we are doing with that? I'm confused in that also. Means all these step run commands and all these things I understand, but what is the basic concept I really lacking with this means what we are the significance and what is helping in in this.
Yeah. So that I want you to give me the answer for that. Tell me, why do we use container? That's I'm asking you. You think
Yeah,
and tell me.
yeah, it's a, as you mentioned, it's a time saving and all these factor like
No, no, one important one. Time saving is okay, but most
hmm,
important one.
cost management.
Wonderful. But for what? What way?
Yeah, that's what because we have a Ubuntu
Okay,
and when
okay.
we are installing with the
No, no, don't look at the Ubuntu right now.
hmm,
One by one, we'll go for that. So cost saving. So I lost that all the images, but cost saving. How come? How come cost saving? Anyone else would like to try?
The resources, hardware resources.
Wonderful. The 1 hour session I did only for discussing about why do we need it, Docker. I gave you all these pictures and all. I explained you why we need it. If you could not get it in 1 hour, then right now we should not struggle. So my questions to all of you: recall that first set discussion, and I spent almost 1 hour of session on that. What is Docker? Why do we need it? And how it works? So you have to tell me now, why do we need Docker? Why we are learning and wasting our time actually? Tell me. Think and tell me. So guys, the problem with the virtualizations, I'm assuming virtualizations, at least you get a little bit of idea. This is there from
Yes,
last
yes.
20 years.
Virtualization is
Yeah.
okay.
So the problem with the virtualization is every time you want to create a VM, and okay, one more thing, think in this session, in Docker session, don't think, don't think you are going to use it for your daily operation in your laptop. All I'm saying is think about the cloud, think about the data centers. Okay, so the problem with the virtual machines is every virtual machines you have operating system. My questions to all of you, do you have a operating system in kernel, sorry, container?
Mm.
Do you have it? Do you remember this discussion?
Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
discussion. Yeah,
So the question is why we are
it
learning
will have a
Docker.
kernel.
Yeah, the question was why we are learning a Docker. The reason
Yeah,
is,
that is the. Mm.
your organization wants you to run the application in a container, so your organization can save lots of data center cost. That means not only your organizations, everyone wants to run their data center in a container. That's one advantage, major advantage. Because in a data center you run thousands of application, not one. So for that there's a two options now. Either you have run in the thousands of VM, or 2000s of containers, same resources, same cost. I mean, you're reducing the cost right here.
So it means it's a, like a machine. A container is a kind of machine where like
Okay,
virtualizations
okay.
like.
Wait. When you say machine, then it will become a hardware also. But if you
Yeah.
say the compute unit, then it will not be hardware, mind it. Because compute unit nowadays, virtualization, you can create a compute unit virtualized also. Like a VM is a virtualized compute unit. A container is a virtualized compute unit. Correct, no? So the only
Yes.
difference with
Okay.
the VM and container is VM has operating system, container do not have operating system. Makes sense. One more thing. See, I'll tell you. What's your good name?
My name is Ujjwal.
Yeah. So Ujjwal, in the session, let's say very first time you have got to know this Docker and container. Very first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't expect immediately you get it. I'll tell you my experience. I
Mm.
started Docker from 2015, and then I got a concept clear by 2017. But I'm not saying like you have to spend so much of money, so much of time at that time, because at that time very little resources were available to learn. But
Mhm.
here, after this session, maybe some of the things you did not get it, did not understand it, repeat that video. For 1 hour of recording, you have to practice at least 4 to 5 hours. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll put it in this way: if just watching the only one session, you learn this way, so that means anyone can learn anything actually. Just spend 100 hours and you become expert in everything. Correct now? Yeah.
Yes.
So here, fundamental root cause, we are not doing anything else, just we are improving from what we were doing. So improvement in everything we needed. Earlier
So
we were using laptop. Earlier we
yeah.
were using laptop. Now VM. 20 years before we are migrated to VM, I remember I was in Mindtree at that time, and I was given a training of virtualization machine. That means VMware and all. Now I am doing the training for you containerization. Maybe tomorrow I have to learn something else also. Don't know.
So, sir, Rajesh, I can say like that in the Docker we can have n numbers of uh, we cannot say a machine, but n numbers of like instances of machine, like means where
Compute
we
unit
can.
will be right word.
Okay,
Compute unit.
compute.
See, okay. If anyone asks you, here I said also. Look at this. Container is a lightweight, means no operating system. Lightweight means consuming less CPU, less RAM, less storage.
It's work like
Application
operating
runtime in
system.
huh,
It's work like operating
applica
system.
but it has no operating system. Mind it. So application runtime environment. That means a container where application can run, but by consuming lesser CPU, lesser RAM, and all kind of things. Powered by a kernel, requested by Docker.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, so now for time being, think in a very simple way. First thing, we did not do anything great. What we did, install Docker. After that, what we did, created a container. After that, what we did, I got inside a container. And how do we get inside a container? This command I used it. After that, it's just Linux only. After that, once you get into this container, it's just like a Linux, nothing great. And you run some applications, you want to access it from outside. This is how you access. And after that, I said, hey, I'm not happy with the so many commands, so I should just run the shortcut command. That's all.
Yeah. Is it okay to ask you like that? Can you give us a real scenario or some types of where we can use a Docker, like just example of that, like that we have just like we have an Ubuntu and we are just installing the Docker. And can you give me the real like one example of any of the project where we is using the Docker to save the cost and the management or all these things, because virtualization is there. So how just one example so we little bit more clear about the Docker, like one instance we create a one container, then second container, third, and numbers of container we can create. So is it possible that you can give just a simple one example? So uh,
Yeah.
uh,
So see here, I think you are not able to visualize that. That's the problem.
yeah, I tried my best
I'll
to
put.
visualize.
Yeah, that's the problem. So here, let me try. Basically, why you are learning Docker? Not for that. Not for that. Like you will be consuming it, but your application which you are developing, it will run in a container which you can run in a data center. That's a fundamental use of it. There's other use cases also, but let me put it up in this way. Uh, Very simple use cases I'm using. This is you. This is your laptop. Okay, and this is the same laptop you have. You have option number one, option number two. In order to run any applications, let's say you run one web server, one database server, one application server. Here, web server, which we have Apache. Let me change the color. Apache. And what you did? Apache. Same explanation I'm putting in a different way, mind it. This is a Tomcat and this is the MySQL. Now this is you are running trying to application. So this will hit this one, this will hit this one. This is the VM1, VM2, VM3 is running in your laptop. Are you comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Now here you are running in a container, one container, two container, three container. This is the app server. This is the, sorry, is a web server, app server, database server. Now tell me how to run this container, this container, this container. Don't you know? You have web server. Here you have web server. Let me show you. Hub, the Apache image, just now you use it for the training. Tomcat image you have here. Same command. This is the Tomcat image and this is a MySQL image. You run it, command, you know that very well. Now the question is, did you still understand why we are running in a container? Because results are same. Here you are creating a VM, which I taught you last session. Here you are creating a container. Just I'm teaching you right now. Why you are running in a container? All of you, please participate in the discussion. Very good question asked by him.
So we just don't need an operating system, and we can save the cost, resources.
Cost for what? See, you have a 10 GB RAM.
Hardware.
If you create a
Yeah,
VM 2 GB, 2 GB, 2 GB, 6 GB is gone. Now you have to think why this 2 GB is required. So 50% will be taken by operating system. That means only
yeah.
utilization is 3 GB. 3 GB is wastage. This you have, I'm saved only here 3 GB. Now you think at the large scale. This you have to replicate to the whole multiple machines in the data center. How much you are safety, saving cost, right? Think about it, visualize this in your mind. Now did you understand that, all of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now
Yeah, so
little bit more
that
clear.
way you have to think about it. Yeah, slowly new technologies take some time, but don't need to get afraid of is not understanding, because if you Try more, ask questions more, you will get it. Okay, so command, all this command you know very well. It's just a practice. All commands you know very well here, all the practice. Okay, more questions, guys?
What is the significance of the name when you do Docker ps-a that you see at the last?
Yes. So guys, what happens when you say Docker PS, this name which you see here is randomly assigned by Docker. Now you say, Rajesh, I don't like this name. So no problem. You can rename it to this container to Raju1. There's spelling mistake, I guess. Rename Raju1, and here I rename it. Let's say you say, Rajesh, during creation itself, I want to create it. No problem. Docker run -d httpd, and here hyphen name Raju2. So here you get it here. So that my idea is the unique name should be given to each container in the host. Okay. So that is the idea here. So that way you can use the name also and the container ID also to identify which container you are working on it and stuff like that. Got it?
Can you run the same command again? Creating with same name. Do we get an error? Just want to see the error.
Yes, of course. Of course you get it error.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
It's the same like as Linux or the Docker few commands are different, but the if we do like that, it's similar to like after that we have to do like the same what we are doing in the Linux, right?
The Linux host name, again, if you keep it same, it will be conflict actually in the network, but still it
Okay.
will run it. But here you cannot create it at all.
Okay.
More questions, guys?
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.